When Nathaniel, Montana was just 5 years of age, his father Joe asked him, "What's the toughest part of being in kindergarten?" And he said, "PE, Daddy. I don't like running around and getting all hot and sweaty." That was then. Well, today Nathaniel and his brother Nicholas have overcome any reservations about all that sweating stuff, and at the high school stage at least, they have gone into their father's business. As Shelley Smith shows us, that means the man many consider the greatest quarterback to ever play is reduced to just watching.
It's late August and football practice is underway. Up in the stands is a dad trying hard to be just a dad. That he happens to be Joe Montana impresses about everyone except his two quarterback sons.
When people find out that you're, who you are, what do people want to know?
What's it like having your dad as Joe Montana?
And what do you say?
Normal.
I don't think about it that much. I try not to think about it. And I don't avoid it, but I try not to bring it up.
Nathaniel and Nicholas Montana were 5 and 2 when their dad threw his last NFL pass. Nathaniel is a senior on the varsity and Nicholas a sophomore on the junior varsity at De La Salle High School, located just across the bay from where their dad became one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history.
Montana rolling out the right, looking toward the end zone, throwing under pressure, throws his pass, caught by Clark, touchdown for the 49ers!
I never thought I'd be as frustrated watching him play, because it's really, you don't want anything to ever go wrong, and you want to help them in every way you can, but yet they're not going to be perfect. And when that thing happens, it just kills you inside.
At De La Salle, Nathaniel is trying to catch up after playing only basketball as a junior. He and Nicholas are each competing for starting positions.
Go, roll, buzz, pivot. That's it.
Steve Clarkson is a quarterback guru of sorts, holding quarterback camps across the country and has worked privately with Ben Roethlisberger and Matt Leinart. He's been working with the Montana boys since June 2006.
When I saw Nicholas, he looked just like Joe. I mean, the way he walked, the way he entered a huddle, the way he broke, to the line of scrimmage.
Reminds you more of Joe than the other?
I would say Nicholas, because Nathaniel's got a really strong arm.
Actually, Jennifer Montana says both boys are like Joe, but in different ways. Nathaniel has the calmness, Nicholas the intense desire to be perfect and in control. Both boys say they are oblivious to the pressure of the Montana name, but there was a time when they wore the name Wallace on the backs of their jerseys.
Jennifer came up with this idea early on in Pop Warner's. They put her maiden name on their backs for a while, and after a while the kids all figured it out.
Make sure that when you line up, you got that index finger, wrist, and forearm all in one plane.
In the past, the boys have been far more impressed about working with Steve Clarkson than getting tips from the old man.
Sometimes the boys they say, well, that isn't what Steve said.
Joe is really the typical dad. I mean, he wants to jump in there and say something, but the kids won't listen. It's typical dad.
Recently, however, the boys have had an epiphany of sorts about their lineage.
A couple of years ago, I just kind of whatever, pretty much, but now I'm starting to really take what he has to offer. Then I really started to realize what he'd done.
And that he might know what he's talking about, type of thing.
Exactly.
Sometimes when you're mad at him, you kind of just shove it off or just let it go, but most of the time he's right, or he ends up being right, so you gotta listen.
Not every throw you can throw like that, and you see that.
Now Joe can walk up and say this, and the kids are like any other kid would be, because I think now they realize just how great they have it.
What's happening is you're getting here, and the ball's sliding just a hair coming out this direction.
Do you look at him when you're watching as a coach or a former quarterback or as a dad?
I think I do all three, and probably the one that overshadows the other is probably the dad, because that feeling that when they throw an interception or they get hit and fumble the ball. But it's fun. It's fun to be able to know that they want more information and they're looking for you to help them. So it's exciting every day.